not a war, not a pandemic, not a financial collapse. Yet millions of jobs are quietly disappearing. No sirens, no explosions, no headlines screaming panic. And while most people are still living their normal lives, something in the background is learning. Learning how work is done, learning how decisions are made, and sooner than most people expect, learning how to do those jobs without us. Welcome to WorkBoost. This channel is for people who don't want to panic, but also don't want to stay naive. Here, we talk about work, income, and personal value in the age of artificial intelligence. Not hype, not fear. Just clarity, understanding, and preparation. If that's what you're looking for, you're in the right place. Let's be honest for a moment. Most people believe they'll deal with AI later. Later, when it affects their industry. Later, when their company talks about it. Later, when it feels unavoidable. But history has never been kind to people who wait. Every major technological shift rewards those who move early and punishes those who assume stability will protect them. AI isn't dangerous because it's intelligent. AI is dangerous because of speed. The speed at which it learns, the speed at which it scales, the speed at which yesterday's valuable skills become today's commodities. This is where many people misunderstand what's happening. AI isn't here to replace humans. It's here to replace patterns. If your work can be broken down into clear steps, if it repeats itself day after day, if it can be measured, documented, and optimized, then from a systems perspective, it doesn't matter how hard you've worked to master it. It's replaceable. That truth is uncomfortable. But avoiding it doesn't make it disappear. And this is where many videos stop. They show fear, they show charts, they show layoffs. Then they leave you there. That's not helpful. So let's talk about solutions, real ones, practical ones, things you can actually start doing today. First, you do not need to become an AI engineer. That idea alone stops most people before they begin. You don't need to build models. You don't need advanced math. You don't need to quit your job. What you do need is to stop treating AI as something separate from your work. Start by observing how AI is already being used inside your own industry. Right now. If you work in marketing, learn how AI supports research, analysis, and ideation. If you work in operations, learn how AI automates reporting, forecasting, and optimization. If you work in content, understand AI as a thinking assistant, not a replacement for judgment or creativity. The goal is not to compete against AI. The goal is to move one level above it. Here's a framework I personally believe in. AI handles execution. Humans handle judgment. AI processes information. Humans decide what matters. AI generates options. Humans choose direction. If your role is only execution, you are exposed. If your role involves decision-making, context, responsibility, and trust, you still have time. That's where you want to move. Second, build learning momentum, not pressure. You don't need to learn everything. you need to learn consistently. 30 minutes a day is enough. One tool at a time. One real use case at a time. Ask simple questions. How does this tool save me time? How does it improve my output? How does it help me think better? Not just work faster. Over time, this compounds. Not because AI is magical, but because people who learn continuously adapt faster than those who stand still. Third, stop relying on a single source of security. For decades, people were taught that stability comes from one job, one role, one company. That model is breaking. The new form of security is optionality, transferable skills, tools you understand deeply, the ability to pivot when conditions change. This doesn't mean everyone needs a business, but everyone needs leverage. And when understood correctly, AI is leverage. That's exactly why WorkBoost exists. Not to chase trends, but to help you build clarity in an increasingly noisy world. To understand how value is shifting and position yourself before pressure forces you to react. If you want future videos that go deeper into how to learn AI step by step, how to adapt your career intelligently, and how to stay relevant without burning out, subscribe to the channel. Not for motivation, for preparation. Because the question is no longer whether AI will change your industry. That part is already decided. The real question is simpler. When change arrives at your door, will you see it as a threat or as an opportunity you were ready for? You haven't been replaced yet. But time is not unlimited. This is the moment to choose, evolve, or be left behind. That choice doesn't begin tomorrow. It begins today.